sometimes we pass the test, we integrate the standard, and then it takes a little time till really the standards kicks in. But I can tell you, when you pass the test and you stick to this identity. So I'm now.
So are you used to poverty? Are you used to, having bad things? Or are you used to not knowing what wealth is? Or are you used to wealth? Are you used to being successful? That's your standard. But perhaps that's your standard, which is hopefully it'll be everybody's standard. But to me,
Welcome to the Alchemy of Success podcast.
Your podcast for business, personal, and consciousness expansion. I'm Pedro.
And I'm Anna. And today we're going to talk about setting a new standards in life and the test we need to pass in order to anchor them in our life. We're so happy to have you today back at the podcast because this topic is extremely exciting. And the reason for this is I believe every one of us, in some point in our life, we start questioning whether the standards we are living at are the one that really represent our highest potential and whether they support us in the goals we'd like to achieve. And it doesn't matter in which area of life. Alchemy of Success is all about holistic approach towards all the areas, whether it's your relationship with the people around you, whether it's your business, whether it's your health, whether it's your intellectual or spiritual expansion. It's all about acknowledging what are current standards, because the level of life all of us currently are experiencing is based on the standard. And that is something that maybe just as a small example before we dive into the topic is, the difference between, let me take on the financial topic, the difference between financial successful people and people who are poor it's their standard. Because I'm pretty sure all of you have heard about people winning suddenly the lottery, like a huge amount, but within like a period of time, and especially if these people came from a conscious level or standard level where it's like more of a lower one, that they lose it and they actually go even into a deeper depth than they used to be before. But also there is the other side of the stories where like extremely successful, wealthy people lose all their amount through certain circumstances or a decision they made, or sometimes are also outside circumstances. But within a short amount of time, they're not only able to rebuild their financial wealth, but even to exceed it. And I have been asking myself always, why is this the case? And it's all about the standard. It's all about the standard we set. But the challenge about setting a new standards is not only to set a new standard, but also to pass the test that life will throw at you in order to kind of check whether you truly deeply anchor this new standard and it's a part of your new identity, or you was just talking some shit. So, Pedro, maybe to start the conversation, like from the beginning is, what is a standard? What is your definition for a standard? Or some will call it boundaries, it's like boundaries and standard can be used as interchangeable words in some aspect.
Absolutely. So standard starts with, what is the known? What have you done? What is something that's just part of your story, is who you are, and it's sort of your base level of what you're used to. As simple as that. Standard to me is that. And Anna did exactly tell you, okay, what the hell are you used to? So are you used to poverty? Are you used to, having bad things? Or are you used to not knowing what wealth is? Or are you used to wealth? Are you used to being successful? That's your standard. But perhaps that's your standard, which is hopefully it'll be everybody's standard. But to me, it's just the base level of what you're used to, because it's what you've been accustomed to it for a very long time.
Absolutely. And also for me, standard is like, what is the minimum bare definition of who I am in relationship to money, in relationship to my love, intimate partner, in relationship to me being as a mom. So what are the standards? And here we're not talking of standards that are set up from the outside world, but it's something that we define for us, who we believe to be in every single area. And it's like the minimum. It's not the maximum. It's just the lower bar to say here and none lower than that. And as example, could it be, if we take the money example, could it be, okay, my standard is that I don't have, so if I have less than, I don't know, $20,000 on my bank account, that's below my standard. And if I embody it fully, my subconscious, and we have spoken a lot about subconscious and conscious level in previous episodes, my subconscious, if this happened to be that I go under the 20K, for example, that it's gonna start looking for opportunities, for possibilities, so so I can meet the lower, like level of my standards. Do you
That's right.
agree?
That's right. That's right. Exactly.
And when we talk about changing standards, it's like, maybe we can imagine this as like a container. So we have a certain container regarding one topic. As we now currently started with the money, I think that is very easy for everybody to understand. If we have the container to feel so much money inside, but we want to have like a bigger container. So we want to attract, we want to create more financial expansion in our life. So the standard is that takes this container and expand it and set it. So it's all about expansion of the container that can hold more of that, what we are defining or what we are willing to experience in our life. And maybe Pedro, you have some example for standards for a relationship, because I know you have a very high standards regarding your loving relationship, as you and your wife are like over 26 years together. And this is like nowadays, like a huge, I would say, success in loving relationship. What was your standard, or how your standards adjusted so you can keep this loving relationship?
Sure. Give you the evolution. Being very young back in the day, so standard was just, am I happy with this person? Is there joy? I mean, you have to have joy, otherwise, So there has to be a level of joy where you enjoy spending time with this person, having fun, and just being silly if you need to, and allowing the person to see you being silly, allowing the person to see you, being the good and the bad and the ugly. So for me, it was just having fun and being joyful and connecting in the beginning. And obviously, the other part of me was also, the standard was, there needs to be something deep about the person. So there's joy and there's deepness. I was looking for something. I was very into searching, okay, searching for the stuff that I was questioning since I was very young. So for me, one of the standards was really finding somebody that could converse with me, explore with me, teach me even. Obviously, I'm always learning from everybody. I'm learning from Anna. I'm learning from everybody all the time. So it's somebody that, yeah. and she's learning from me too.
Yes, of course, you need to put this now there. It's a complementary relationship, right?
100%, 100%, 100%. And that's also part of having a successful relationship. That should also be part of your standard. Knowing that what the other party gives you, is putting in front of you, it's good. I mean, you're building each other up. You're supporting each other up. And this could be between friends. Like, real friendship is that when they're happy, you're happy. Okay, so I digress. So the standard, so that for me in the beginning was that standard. But now my standard is knowing that in a relationship, you should always, I will always accept somebody that's in complete resonance with me, that's in completely alignment with me. from not only thinking, but feeling and growth. For me now, it's also growth, constantly growing, constantly learning about the self and everything in life. So for me, the standard is not being with anybody that's not in my resonance, in somebody that's not vibing with me, or in from a mind perspective, a conversation perspective, from a feeling perspective, and just for being me genuine and the person being genuine with me. So my standard is now that is I will accept whoever is in alignment with me, and whoever is not, believe it or not, when you set your standard, stuff doesn't come to you. I mean, it doesn't, the things that you are don't want doesn't come to you. You literally attract that which is you. If you're a positive person, you're gonna attract a lot of positivity. So my standard is just that. Somebody that meshes with me, that compliments me, that is able to grow with me. That's when you standard is in a relationship. So you always be yourself. So that's the number one thing: is be yourself throughout the whole journey. From the moment you start dating to the moment you engage, is the moment the honeymoon happens, and then keep dating your partner. That should be your standard. Keep dating your partner. Every Friday we go out, we go see a movie, we do something together. Spend quality time. It should not die when you get married. If anything, should thrive.
And guys, he's 26 years with his wife, so you should definitely listen to his advices. And that's so beautiful. But for me, it sounds like you kind of from a young age had this standards.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I felt in the relationship topic, my standard has shifted a lot. So, because my first relationship, long-term relationship, was kind of like abusive in some way, you know. But as my standard wasn't at the level that I can go out easily of the relationship, I was stuck with this relationship for more than 5.5 years. To one day, like you said, I said no more. Like from now and then, I just get this no more, and I said no more. I'm not allowing anymore a relationship where my partner is extremely jealous. So that was one of the biggest problem in our relationship. So as I'm a very outgoing person, I have a lot of friends. I connect easily with people. And there in this relationship, like you said, I wasn't allowed to be myself. I needed to put this side of me who brought me joy, who brought me expansion and learning. I really was forced to kind of let it die in this 5.5 years. And the moment I get out of this relationship and I said no more. And now we come to the challenge with setting new standards. I defined I am not allowing anymore a person to enter my life who has this toxic jealousy in his or her system. It's not just loving relationship. What happens is, and that is the test we started talking in the beginning, is that I encounter a person who I really loved as a friend, who I really felt like a very nice relationship and so on. But I felt this person has a jealousy aspect within him. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was for me the red flag, the red flag where I needed to make a decision. And I knew by making this decision, it might mean that also my friendship will end with this person. And now just imagine this situation. You have a very good friend, and then you see that this friend is showing the red flag. So what actually life is testing us in this moment is to check whether the new standard we have set for ourselves, we are really deeply willing to follow through no matter what could be the possible outcome. And we're willing to even take the worst case scenario. In this case, for example, me losing this person as a friend, even if we aligned very good, we had a lot of fun, and we were like best friends. We were really best friends. And I made this decision. And it wasn't easy because emotions are connected. And I made the decision to say no, because I say in loving relationship, I'm not looking for anybody who is jealous. And what actually happens is it was the kind of the worst case. So we really he stopped talking to me. We actually were living together. That was during my study. So, and I needed to live with a person and sharing and another friend of mine. So we were studying together. I needed to share like this environment, but I wasn't, we just passed through like we don't know each other. And was it painful? Yes, it was, but wasn't worth it. 100%. Because I can tell you guys, the moment I made this decision, no matter the outcome, I actually allow myself to encounter a person who had not a singular, I'd say, even a small jealousy within himself. We had a very trustworthy relationship. This partner not only become my intimate partner, but also my husband and also the father of my child. And even if we're now divorced, we have an absolute loving, amazing, respectful relationship. And since then, I never, ever, ever encountered a person to enter my life who holds this frequency of jealousy within. But I needed to pass through this test. It was painful. I won't lie to you, but it was the most beautiful, opening for me to understand, okay, life, when I set the new standards, will throw me a test, will put me in front of a test. And if I decide to lower my standard, in order not to meet the worst case scenario, imagine what could have happened. Maybe I would have ended in the same circle. Maybe not in the same level, but yet in a similar circle. But here, it changed completely.
And that takes a lot of courage. What you did takes a lot of courage because there's a lot of emotions involved. There's a lot of history involved, but it also takes a lot of courage to be yourself and to know how much you're worth it, how much you value yourself, and acknowledgement and all that stuff. So that's good. That takes a lot of courage to do that. And
definitely.
And consciousness.
Definitely. And back there, I wasn't even into the industry or in the area of personal development or expansion or whatever. So I wasn't aware how the structure with the conscious mind, subconscious mind, so on works. It was like kind of more intuitive following and just taking care that I made the right decision. And I'm pretty sure, guys, listening to us or watching us on YouTube, if you just look deep within yourself, you'll find a situation where maybe you are forced to set up a standard, and then kind of you get in front of situation that actually tested your standard, even in a sometimes maybe worst way. So to see, are you really willing to put the level higher? Or just you in one enlightened moment take a decision, but the moment where you actually need to act on this decision, you're backing up. And at the end of the episode, Pedro will give you a very powerful tool, how you can not only anchor new standards, but also how you will have more ease to pass the test. Pedro, do you have maybe one example from your life? Let me say about money. I think that's always a topic that is really challenging, at least in my experience with most of the people I talk, kind of because a lot of people get a distorted relationship towards money throughout our, way how we grew up, what we experience, and so on. So do you have an example around money where you needed to set the new standards? Maybe in the way how you earn money, in the way how you create money, or and then you needed to pass this kind of test, so to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. So, as you guys, I think I mentioned in the prior episode that I did not grow up in an affluent family. Did not grow up around wealth. S- So, to go through my experience, what was my standard before? Perfect. My standard was not that. It was not being affluent, not spending money on myself or buying really nice things for myself. So, the relationship with money and how do you overcome it, or how I try to overcome it. I'll give you one quick example. Is so I go through my career, make okay money in the beginning. Obviously, you're starting. Then I made really good money, money to the point where I was looking at a watch. I was looking at a watch. It's a Tag Heuer. Tag Heuer. Tag Heuer. I don't know how you
Oh,
pronounce it
today I
properly.
passed by one of the shops here in the Emirates Mall.
Okay.
What a synchronicity.
Yeah. So I was looking at this watch, and at that time, I had more money than I had before. I've ever had before. I was recently promoted, and I did a lot. I deserve that money. Just say that. So I started already falling into my new standard of, oh, no, no, wait a minute. I deserve this money. I deserve the promotion. I deserve what comes to me. So I was falling into that piece. Okay. So that's good. That my mind went there first. My emotions went there first, meaning, no, I should be more than what I have been. So now I actually have to take what you always say, Anna, you have to take action. It's not just thinking and feeling, you also have to take action. So I was at this department store. I saw this watch. The price was crazy for me back at that time. I never spent $1,600 on a watch back in the day. And, I used to buy like the $100 watches and stuff like everybody usually does. So I saw it. I'm like, man, but that watch looks really nice.
Mm.
And then my mind was telling me, no, 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 no. You're not used to that. That's more expensive. You don't need that. It's just a material thing. That's literally what my mind was going. But then I said, you know what? But I deserve it. I deserve it. I fucking deserve it. I work my butt off, and I do what I do. I try to do the right thing. I try because I try to do the right thing as much as I can. And my wife was telling me, baby, you deserve it. You do deserve it. Go buy it. Just go ahead and buy it. I said, yeah, I do deserve it. Absolutely, I deserve it. So I bought it. From that moment on, I started dressing better. I started doing more things for myself. Started self care. Started growing because I had reached that critical mass of my meeting my new standards. Like, no, I can afford this. I can afford this. And guess what? I should treat myself. Absolutely, I should treat myself. So as I elevated and went away from my old story, my old history, and started going one with, it's okay to have good things in life. It's okay. And I know I'm not materialistic in that sense, that you can tell by the way I dress and how I look. But it's good to spoil yourself. It's good to give yourself a lift, because that's how you see yourself. So you also want the external world to, yeah, this guy's confident. This guy, he knows this, he's good. They see you express it. So that became my new standard. So
Well, that's so beautiful. I'd like, before we go into the tool that Pedro brought for you, I'll want to share an experience by myself how I didn't pass the test for many years. And when I did actually do it, then what started happening? So, because there was like a positive examples, and say, yeah, it's very good. It's easy for you to say. But actually, I was working in the corporate world for 12 years after I finished my university in Germany, actually 2 studies. And exactly like Pedro say, I didn't grow up also in a family where we had a lot of money. I know that there was a lot of borrowing of money back and forward. And the interesting part is when I started working right after the university, I started with in comparisons, a very good salary, like just ending with bachelor study. And I started like on a level maybe where a master's student will start, because I get recommended, and they immediately find out that the quality that I'm bringing are more value than the most of the people they encounter coming directly from the university. And I have already some experience. So, but like Pedro said, when I started working there, I was earning a good money. I actually ended up at the end of my employee career to be like, I think in Germany under the top 5. There's like top 5% people like at the level of earning of money. But I kind of never really allow myself to go into this like, oh, I'm going to buy me a Louis Vuitton bag, or I'm going to buy me like a suit from Prada or whatever. Even all the people around me, especially working in consultancy business with enterprise customer, everybody tried to shows up at the outside. And I was like, every time even if I had the money, I was like, I prefer to invest it in traveling. I preferred it to buy something, for example, for my husband or then with a family, instead of just going and buying. I was even buying him expensive suit, but not buying for myself. So, and there was this shoes from Louboutin. Okay. So back there, they costed like around $600. And I remember I was talking to my manager in the bank where I used to work, and to my co-partner or colleague that we were running a very huge division. And I was always joking with them, and I say, okay, you need to buy me one pair of Louboutin, And we were always joking around. And one day my boss came to me and said, listen, Anna, there is this opportunity here in the bank where only 20% of the associate vice presidents can get recommended by their manager, and only 20% of this 20% will get a bonus of amount of 6,000 euros back there. So that was like a few years ago, like, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 years ago. So just to let you know, I sent the application for you because you are doing an amazing job and like really over delivering and so on and so on. And so a few weeks later, I get the bonus, Okay, in Germany, you pay like almost over the half for taxation. So it's like the way how it is, as it comes with your salary. It hurts. And he say, okay, now you have the money for your Louboutin. Go and buy it. So that was my test. What did I do back there? I put all the money in the family account. We had and I didn't allow myself to buy the shoes. Even if actually my manager, he didn't do it because of the shoes, but like the universe, the life will say it like you want to test at me whether this is my standard. So I didn't do it. Further, I changed my job. I started earning even more, and I never ever allow myself to take this $600 or euros or 700 to buy the shoes. Never ever. Till end of last year, where I actually dropped my job, started doing my business. Then I needed to end my business, not because of me, but because of the circumstances that my corporation company gets sold. So actually, I didn't have any source of income in this very moment. But something nudged me within me and say, you need to buy these shoes. These shoes are, for me, it felt like the entrance to your new standard, to new life. So I did the most craziest thing that you can imagine by not having any income currently coming to and not having anybody to support you really financially. And I not only bought the Louboutin shoes, but I actually went and bought a pair of them that was more expensive because they were kind of like limited edition and so on. So I bought the shoes and I was staying like for a few months and I didn't wear it even. I'm like, wait a second, Annie. What is the standard of you? Because if you treat these shoes like as something that is very exceptional and so on, so it's not like you wearing normal, like it's a part of your identity. So I said, I'm not doing this. So I took the shoes and I just wear it by a very regular going out for a dinner. That wasn't very comfortable, but that's another topic. and I was like, wow, cool. But in the next few months, nothing really changed in my situation. I was kind of still stuck in my financial topic and so on. But I knew, no, that was the right solution. Now, like going forward, sitting here in Dubai, and I just share with Pedro one of the win that I currently deals close. That's why I needed to think about the shoes because, sometimes we pass the test, we integrate the standard, and then it takes a little time till really the standards kicks in. But I can tell you when you pass the test and you stick to this identity. So I'm now wearing these shoes like the $20 shoes, I buy from Shein or whatever. So I don't see any difference. I can even throw them. I like my shoes, but I'm not making anything out of it, even if they break or whatever, because it's my
that's
new
your
standard.
new standard. Exactly.
Absolute.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that I focus on the material just, but it's like, it's the standard of me allowing myself, if I love something and it gives me excitement, and then I go and buy it. And it's like, what's your new standard? And do you pass the test? I'm pretty sure if I have bought back there these pairs of shoes, I'm telling you that my trajectory regarding my experience with money would have been different, but it took me 8 years around. No, yeah, 7 years to make this realization. So please don't make this mistake. If you define a new standard, like Pedro said, you get it into your mind, you get it into your heart. You need to take a tangible action, because only through the action in this 3D world, you actually anchor this standard. And with this said, I'll give now the stage to Pedro, because he will guide you to a very powerful tool that will help you to overcome this test way faster and quicker. Pedro, the stage is yours.
So, the tool I'll provide you guys is using what you all have naturally, is your imagination, your emotions. And we're going to try to anchor certain things in. And we're going to go to the place where you will actually see yourself. You're going to bypass all your history, all the stuff that you use to your old standard. Allow yourself to simply bypass all of this. So before we start, make sure that you're not driving, operating any machinery, any of that stuff, because we're going to do a meditation. But this meditation will be hyper-focused on helping you to overcome what you want to overcome. So,
and maybe to add, it's not just a meditation, it's a true activation on a cellular level. So really, if you are like, oh, I'm not the meditative type, I don't do meditation, don't see it as a meditation. It's a real powerful tool to anchor it on the cellular level, on your emotional mindset, and take inspired action.
We're going to try to go into the subconscious, guys. That's where the magic happens. So allow yourself to do this. And if you can't visualize, just imagine, or a knowing, simply a knowing of what I'm about to guide you to. So go ahead and just close your eyes if you can. And take 3 deep breaths. One longer than the next. And with every exhale, you will exhale all the limiting beliefs, all your blockages, all your old patterns, your thoughts, everything that's not in congruence with your new self, your new standard. And this breath, as you keep breathing, allow your breath to go in through your nostrils, down your lungs and out your belly. Allow this breath to go in and expand. I want you to sense your breath. Feel your breath. This is something you do every day. It is so natural to you, just like your new standard is natural to you. It is like breathing. It is a part of you. It is you. So keep focusing on the breath, the expansion of the breath. And I want you to feel it working its way through your face, allowing you to bring calm, peace, and serenity. And if you feel called to simply visualize a color, do so. This is your story, your journey, your transformation. And allow the breath to push it down your shoulders, expand to your chest, your upper back. Allow it to flow through your arms, your forearms, all the way down to your fingertips. And feel the expansion of the breath working its way down to your hips, your thigh. And allow this breath to feel you that calm, peaceful, serene feeling down your calves, all the way down to your toe. As you follow the rhythm of your breath, you're going to start feeling perhaps a little lighter or heavier, or perhaps some tingling sensation. And that's okay. And allow this breath to be a part of you. And now feel this breath everywhere. You start bringing your awareness outside of your body, around the crown. Just feel the slightest breeze, the slightest sensation. It caresses your face, touches your hair. And I want you to bring this awareness because I want you to feel this sensation. These sensations that you feel are very natural. It's all around you, within you, outside of you. It's everywhere, as your new standards are a part of you. They're everywhere. Something you embody, something you feel, something you act upon. Because this is the new you. And now, as you feel this calm, peaceful, serene, relaxed state, I want you to use your imagination. And I want you to visualize yourself at the top of the stairs, this magical staircase. And on top of the stairs, you're going to see yourself. You're going to see your new self. Look at what you look like. Look at the clothes you're wearing. Look how you stand. Look at your posture. Look at the energy you portray. Look how you carry yourself. This person filled with confidence, filled with this amazing ability to accomplish anything they set their mind to. This person that breathes success, that knows success. The person that feels joy and balance with compassion and understanding for others as well. The person that loves life, loves giving and receiving, understands the balance between these two. But look how amazing you look at the top of the stairs. I want you to breathe the word success. So take a deep breath. And you're going to breathe this in. You're going to activate it into your system. As you breathe this beautiful word of success, you feel the energy. You feel empowered. It's not something that's just a knowing. It's also a sensation. How amazing does it feel? How confident, how balanced. And now, with this new version of yourself, the one that's changed the story, the one that's looking to be above it, breaking the old patterns, the limiting beliefs, you're going to go ahead and anchor this in, because at the bottom of the stairs, you're going to find and fully integrate this new you into yourself. There's 20 magical steps. And with each step, you're going to sense and feel the steps of change. You're going to sense and feel the steps of transformation, joy, balance, and success. And with your right foot, you start at 19, 18, 17, feeling more and more like that person you always were meant to be. 16, 15, feeling that richness, empowerment. 15, 14, 13, 12, more successful than ever before. 11, 10, feeling the transformation within you. 9, 8, 7, anchoring all this beautiful energy in. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Success. That is what you are. That is what you feel. That is what you will act going forward. Your actions will match your emotions. Your emotions are part of your consciousness, your new consciousness of what you feel you are. And now we're going to anchor this in. Take another deep breath. And integrate this into your being. Allow this breath now to flow through your cells. Gently, lovingly. And you could almost see it. Or just simply know it. This activation is almost like little fireworks going off inside of you. Perhaps you feel a tingling sensation, feeling warm, or maybe heavy or light. Whatever your reaction, it's the normal thing for you. But imagine and hold on to this word, this new version of you. The one that will live life differently going forward in a positive direction. And with everything else in life, we're now going to simply be grateful for the experience, the breath, and this new version of yourself that's always been within you. And the proof is because you have been able to see it. It's always there. So accept this version of yourself, the one that's positive. And now we're going to simply start coming back. And at the count of 0, you come back to your beautiful state of being. Going down from 5, 4, becoming more aware of the place where you are. 3, feeling more connected to your senses. 2, feeling fully aware of the body. 1, completely aware of your sounds and surroundings. And 0, coming back to the body, coming back to your consciousness, coming back to your new self. and welcome back.
Thank you so much. That was a beautiful experience. I hope all of you enjoy it. We will let you with this, stays with this emotion and energy. And we're going to upload also the meditation as a separate also video next to the podcast, so you can use it every time when you feel that you need to realign, to reset your standards, to integrate more and more. Actually, neuroscience also recommend to listen 21 days in a row, so it gets really anchored deep. So you can definitely then store the meditation video, or just come here and go to the time where it starts and listen it. Even if you do it right before you go to sleep, not a problem, because it gonna work on your subconscious mind level, and it still will be anchored even if you fall asleep. But like Pedro said, don't operate any machines or drives during this very, very deep and relaxed state. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful week ahead, and see you next week back at the Alchemy of Success, your podcast for
Oh, business, personal, and consciousness expansion.
I always love to test Pedro. Actually, this with the meditation was a very spontaneous topic. If you want to listen to more meditations from Pedro, definitely head to his website. He's now creating step by step a very big amount of new meditation in different areas. And I can tell you, I'm using his meditation. I have my personal meditation for the golden waterfall. So to open for prosperity, and I can tell you it works like magic. So if you specifically need one specialized meditation, you can also drop a message to Pedro. He'll be more than happy to do this for you. And with all this said, have a wonderful day.
Thanks for watching. Click on one of the videos below and don't forget to like and subscribe.